They call him the most successful songwriter in history. The man whose music defined a generation and whose face was once plastered across every magazine cover from Liverpool to Los Angeles. But behind the screaming crowds and the glitter of sold-out US stadiums, Paul McCartney has lived a secret American life. A life full of love, heartbreak, moments of shocking vulnerability, and events so strange and unexpected that even die-hard fans have never heard the full truth, until now. It's easy to think of McCartney as purely British, the Liverpool lad who conquered the world with the Beatles. But the truth is, America has been woven into his story for over 6 decades, shaping his music, his family, and his survival as an artist. Without America, there's a chance the world might have lost Paul McCartney forever. The story begins in February 1964. The Beatles step off a Pan Am flight at JFK Airport into a wall of screaming fans. The American press calls it an invasion. But for Paul, it's not an invasion, it's a homecoming. In the months that follow, he builds quiet friendships with American musicians and industry giants, friendships that will resurface again when he needs them most. Because just 6 years later, in 1970, Paul McCartney is a broken man. The Beatles, the band that ruled the world, is finished. Lawsuits are flying, friendships are shattered, and the press is painting him as the villain who broke up the group. The truth is far more complicated, but in Paul's own words, it was the darkest period of his life. He hides away in his Scottish farm, growing a beard, drinking too much, and wondering if he'll ever write another song. The weight of the breakup crushes him. For the first time since he was a teenager, Paul McCartney considers quitting music altogether. But America won't let him. Friends across the Atlantic urge him to visit, to get away from the suffocating British press. When he finally travels back, it's not for a grand tour or a Beatles reunion, it's just to breathe again. That trip sparks something in him. A few jam sessions with American musicians lead to a spark of creativity, and slowly the idea for his new band, Wings, is born. Through Wings, Paul would find a second act. And here's where America steps in again, not just as a stage for his music, but as a safe haven for his heart. Paul's love story with Linda McCartney is already the stuff of legend. But what most people don't know is how America helped save that marriage. The couple spends long stretches in Tucson, Arizona, far from the paparazzi and chaos of London. They ride horses, raise their children, and live like ordinary neighbors. Local fans recall seeing Paul at the grocery store, pushing a cart while Linda loaded it with vegetables from the produce aisle. These quiet years in America are where Paul feels human again. Not a Beatle, not a rock icon, just a husband and father. But while most of America knows him for the anthems like Hey Jude and Let It Be, here's something that will surprise many. Paul McCartney's fingerprints are on dozens of songs that most Americans have no idea he wrote or influenced. He has quietly collaborated on tracks for other artists, slipped in under pseudonyms, and given away melodies that became US hits without his name in the credits. In some cases, you might be singing along to a song in your car without realizing the man behind it is Paul McCartney himself. Then there's the night things went terribly wrong. Touring America has given him countless moments of joy, but it also delivered one of the most humiliating and nerve-wracking experiences of his life: his arrest on American soil. The details remain under-discussed, overshadowed by other rock star scandals of the era. But the scene is unforgettable for those who were there. Flashing police lights outside a concert venue, murmurs of disbelief in the crowd, and Paul McCartney, one of the most famous men in the world, being led away for questioning. The charges were ultimately resolved, but the experience changed him. From that moment, Paul became more cautious about where he went and who he trusted when on US tours. And yet, America never turned its back on him. If anything, the bond between Paul and his American fans only grew stronger. Decade after decade, he returned to US stadiums, each time met with the same deafening roars that greeted him back in '64. Even today, when he steps onto an American stage, you can see it in his eyes. The gratitude, the nostalgia, and the connection to a country that helped him survive his darkest years. This is why Paul McCartney isn't just a British legend. He's an American one too. He's lived here, loved here, created here, and even been broken here. But through it all, America has been more than just a tour stop. It has been his refuge, his audience, and in some ways, his savior. So the next time you hear Maybe I'm Amazed or Band on the Run, remember, those aren't just British hits. They're pieces of a love story between a man and a country that caught him when he was falling. Paul McCartney's American life is a story that the headlines never told. A story of secret friendships, late-night recording sessions, desert sunsets, courtroom scares, and the kind of quiet domestic moments that keep a superstar's feet on the ground. It's proof that even the biggest legends need a place to call home, and sometimes that home is an entire country. And now I want to hear from you. What's your favorite Paul McCartney memory or song? Did you ever see him live in the US? Drop your story in the comments, and let's see how many untold moments we can collect together. And if you've made it this far, hit that like button, subscribe for more untold stories, and share this with someone who still hums along to Hey Jude. Because this, my friends, is more than just music history, it's living proof that sometimes, a second chance comes wrapped in red, white, and blue.